The UK's 2024 budget is a bold move, a significant departure from previous fiscal policies. Chancellor Rachel Reeves has laid out an ambitious plan, one that aims to reshape the economic landscape of the nation. Its aim? To stimulate economic growth and ensure long-term prosperity for all citizens. The strategy is two-pronged: increased government spending and higher taxes, a combination designed to inject capital into key sectors. This approach is a gamble, a calculated risk that hinges on the belief that strategic investments will yield substantial returns. It bets on the idea that investment in infrastructure, technology and education will boost the economy, creating jobs and fostering innovation. The hope is that this will offset the impact of increased taxes, making the burden more manageable for businesses and individuals alike. The budget's success is not guaranteed, and there are many variables at play that could influence the outcome. Global economic uncertainty adds to the risk, with fluctuating markets and international trade tensions creating an unpredictable environment. The UK faces challenges, including inflation and Brexit, which continue to cast a shadow over economic stability. The Chancellor's message is clear: the UK must invest to compete on the global stage, leveraging its strengths to overcome these hurdles. This budget is a high-stakes gamble for the UK economy, a daring move that could either propel the nation forward or set it back significantly. Public spending takes centre stage. The 2024 budget prioritises public spending. Key areas are receiving significant investment. Education and healthcare are top priorities. The government aims to improve the NHS. Infrastructure is another key focus. This includes transportation and digital networks. The housing crisis is also being addressed. Funds are allocated for affordable housing. This aims to improve living standards. Increased spending is intended to boost economic activity. It also aims to improve public services. The success of this approach remains to be seen. Increased spending requires increased revenue. The 2024 budget introduces several tax hikes. These target both individuals and corporations. One significant change is the rise in corporation tax. This has sparked debate about its impact on businesses. Income tax thresholds will also be adjusted. This is intended to align them with inflation. Capital gains and inheritance taxes are also seeing increases. These measures aim to fund the government's spending plans. They also aim to address wealth inequality. These tax hikes will impact different segments of society. Their long-term effects remain to be seen. The UK's budget stands in contrast to other major economies. The US, for example, has favoured tax cuts over spending increases. This approach aims to stimulate private sector growth. However, it has also led to concerns about rising inequality. China, on the other hand, has focused on state-led investment. This has driven significant economic growth. However, it has also raised concerns about debt and overcapacity. The UK's approach is a hybrid of these models. It seeks to balance public and private sector investment. Only time will tell which approach will prove most effective. Section 5. Short-term gains, long-term pains. The 2024 budget offers potential short-term benefits. Increased spending could stimulate economic activity. This could lead to job creation and increased consumer confidence. Improvements to public services could also improve living standards. However, there are also long-term risks. Increased government spending could lead to higher inflation. This could erode the purchasing power of consumers. Tax hikes could also discourage investment and entrepreneurship. The long-term impact of the budget depends on a variety of factors. These include the effectiveness of government spending and global economic conditions. Section 6. Markets jittery, a vote of confidence or concern. The initial market reaction to the budget has been mixed and uncertain. Some investors have welcomed the government's focus on growth and development. Others have expressed concerns about the impact of tax hikes and regulations. The pound's value has fluctuated in response to the budget announcement. This suggests uncertainty about its long-term implications and effects. The market reaction is a crucial indicator of sentiment. It reflects investor confidence in the government's plan and strategy. Continued volatility could signal deeper concerns about the UK's economic outlook and stability. Section 7. The Debt Dilemma, a gamble on future prosperity. The 2024 budget will undoubtedly increase the UK's national debt. This has sparked debate about the sustainability of the government's approach. Some argue that increased debt is necessary to fund essential investments. They point to the low cost of borrowing as justification. Others argue that high levels of debt could have negative consequences in the future. This includes higher interest payments and reduced fiscal flexibility. The government's ability to manage debt levels will be crucial. This will determine the long-term success of the budget. Section 8. A balancing act, public services versus private sector growth. The 2024 budget highlights the challenge of balancing competing priorities. On one hand, there is a pressing need to enhance public services, which are the backbone of a well-functioning society. The government must weigh the need for public services against the importance of private sector growth. Public services like healthcare, education and infrastructure are vital for the well-being of citizens and the overall development of the nation. Increased spending on healthcare and education is essential. These sectors not only improve quality of life, but also contribute to a more educated and healthier workforce, which in turn can boost economic productivity. However, it must not come at the expense of a thriving private sector. The private sector is the engine of economic growth, driving innovation, creating jobs, and generating wealth. The government must create an environment that encourages investment and job creation. This involves providing incentives for businesses to grow and thrive, while also ensuring that regulations are not overly burdensome. This requires striking a delicate balance between regulation and support for businesses. Effective policies should protect public interest without stifling entrepreneurial spirit and economic dynamism. The success of the budget hinges on the government's ability to achieve this balance. By carefully managing resources and priorities, the government can foster a prosperous economy that benefits all citizens. Section 9. The opposition cries foul, a predictable response. The opposition has criticised the 2024 budget as reckless and irresponsible. They argue that tax hikes will stifle economic growth. They also claim that increased spending is unsustainable. This response is unsurprising given the adversarial nature of politics. However, it is important to consider the opposition's proposed alternatives. Simply criticising the government's plan is not enough. A constructive debate about the best way forward for the UK economy is needed. This requires both sides to engage in good faith and present viable solutions. Section 10. Will it work? The jury's still out. The 2024 UK budget represents a significant gamble. The Chancellor has laid out an ambitious plan aiming to stimulate growth and stabilise the economy. It is too early to say definitively whether it will succeed. The initial reactions have been mixed, with some experts optimistic and others cautious. The budget's success depends on numerous factors. Economists are closely monitoring the situation, analysing data and trends to predict potential outcomes. These include global economic conditions, which are currently volatile. International trade dynamics and geopolitical tensions could significantly impact the UK's economic trajectory. The effectiveness of government spending is another critical factor. Investments in public services, infrastructure and innovation must yield tangible benefits to justify the budget's bold approach. And the response of businesses and consumers. Their confidence and spending habits will play a crucial role in driving economic recovery and growth. The coming months and years will be crucial. Seasonal changes and economic cycles will provide further insights into the budget's impact. They will reveal whether the government's gamble has paid off. The collaboration between the public and private sectors will be essential in navigating this uncertain period. The UK economy is at a crossroads. Decisions made now will shape the nation's future for years to come. The 2024 budget represents a decisive turn. It is a bold move that could either propel the UK towards prosperity or lead to unforeseen challenges. Only time will tell in which direction it will lead. The stakes are high, and the world is watching to see how this economic experiment unfolds.